Fox News contributor Kirsten and also Fox News contributor Andrea Tantaros. Ladies, it's a good night to see you, even with the bad weather. Thanks for joining us. Andrea, I'm going to begin with you. Do you think that anyone expected that the Tea Parties would have this much influence, the kind of influence that we saw with turnout and with results as we did in the midterm elections?
No, I mean, you remember, Kimberly, they were discounted, they were called manufactured outrage, and they turned out to be the biggest political phenomenon in decades and the biggest story of 2010 in politics. Their influence was paramount, and they were able to influence so many different elections and tip them right and throw a lot of even very moderate Republican members out of office. And so I think they're going to play a real role in 2011, depending on what their message is, how much money they raise. But Rush brought a really good point up. I mean, I've heard a couple Tea Party heads say that they were going to try and divide the Republican Party and really get after Republicans. You want to make sure that the end game goal, too, in 2012, if you want to repeal Obamacare, is defeating the Democrats and defeating Barack Obama. That's the way to repeal Obamacare.
All right, well, let's see what happens with that. Now, Kirsten, do you expect that the Tea Parties will have that kind of continuing, steady influence and impact that they did this past year?
Well, I think that's the outstanding question, really, because you remember when Obama came in, he had this huge movement behind him, and then you never really saw them again. And so the question is the Tea Party going to be something that just...
Illegals, obviously, according to the 14th Amendment, enjoy automatic citizenship. Republicans are talking about trying to amend the 14th Amendment or challenge it. Now, that might, you know, make the party faithful really happy.
Two things come to mind on this one. One, Republicans have to be very careful. The #1 issue still is jobs and the economy. So every time they start to talk about other issues, you start to lose the electorate because they're saying you're supposed to come in here and create the jobs that the Democrats didn't. Secondly, Greg, I think Republicans have to be careful that they don't appear xenophobic, isolationist. They have to make sure that they are advocating for securing the border, and they're advocating for legal. They are for legal immigration because there's so many illegal workers now, and they play such an important role in our workforce. They've got to be, that issue has to be handled very delicately.
You know, Kirsten at the news conference last week
says he's committed to deficit reduction. They say that he's going to start talking about it during his State of the Union. But you're right, Greg, that's where you're going to see this all-out battle royales over spending cuts. But I will say this, the president is going to act a lot like Caesar, very imperialist, and start to use the agencies, the EPA, the Labor Relations Board. We're seeing this already.
Regulations.
Yes, to get things done. But that press conference he had after his shellacking, he started to talk about climate change and electric cars. So I'm not sure that he will just focus on the economy. We've heard it before from him, but he still seems to be distracted with these core liberal issues that matter to his base.
He's already starting to do it with end of lives today.
That's right.
All right.
That's not right. That's